What is up, gamers? In this video, I'm going to be shell swapping a Nintendo DS Lite with an absolutely amazing custom shell that I've thrown together. It is made up of extreme rate parts, so very, very high quality parts and pieces. We have clear glow-in-the-dark shell pieces matched with the sleek matte black shell pieces. So the inside is going to be the glow-in-the-dark with black accents, and the outside is going to be black with glow-in-the-dark accents. This is going to be a really, really, really cool DS. I'm excited to get into it, and as we see here, I already got the DS all disassembled and prepped for installation with our new shell here. So let's put the bottom shell pieces off to the side and start with the top pieces. So our top screen that I'm using, it has a lot of scratches. It's in really bad shape. So I'm going to be using the provided extreme rate lens that they give us. I wish it was more of a black color. As we can see, it's kind of green. So gonna get the adhesive off of here just like this. Okay. Now I'm gonna peel one side of the adhesive and set it in place. Alright, I got the adhesive in place as best I can. I'm going to take some tweezers and peel up the other end of the adhesive. Now I'm going to peel this. I want to work fast because I do not want dust to get in the screen. There's actually already a speck of dust that was in there before. Use some canned air. I'm going to place it down. And now I'm going to peel the opposite side of this lens. Takes a lot of force. This is on there really good. Okay, and now I'm going to place it right on there. And now our top screen. It should be looking like new. This adhesive is just, it's very, very, very strong. We got to get our hinge and our metal cylinder in place there. Now we can get our top screen in place. Coil up our cable. Try again. Okay, there we go. Now I got our antenna from our old DS. The old DS that I already had was in pieces, so I don't think it made much sense for me to include the disassembly of that because it was already in pieces. That's how I received it. It just ended up to have good screens, so I pulled a motherboard from a different DS, and here we are. Get a microphone in place. Pull that on through. Now we can fold our top screen back down. Now we can put our speakers in place and make sure their wires are routed properly. Okay, and now we can take this top plate here, put it on over, snap it on, and just like that, it's good to go. Alright, and our top screen cable, a little loose, there we go. Perfect, so this should be all ready to go. So we can set this off to the side for now, and now we get our bottom inner plate. Put the wires through here. I like to position it like this so it's easier to get the top screen cable through. All right, so now we need our hinge cover. Oh, I need the hinge. Got a black hinge to match. Just gonna brush it clean. Okay, so we can put the hinge in. And make sure it's in the right position. And it is. Close it, put that on. And now we can screw in the hinge cover with these 2 longer screws. Now I always use Nintendo screws and not Extreme Rate screws because Nintendo screws, they don't strip easily. Extreme Rate screws strip way too easily. So I always recommend you use your DS's screws. But now we can get our buttons in place. Now I recommend you use Extreme Rate's Start and Select Clear Pad, but not ABXY or the D-pad. Reason being, they're just a little more mushy than Nintendo's. So I always like to use Nintendo's, but this pad is great. It makes Start and Select super clicky. Okay, so we can get that rubber pad in place. And then this one. Cool, so now we can get our microphone cable routed. Get it in its tracks here. And then pry it up right here so it's all ready to go. So now, the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to set this off to the side. And I'm going to take our motherboard here. I'm going to customize our motherboard by swapping the power LEDs with custom ones. So I'm going to swap the regular power LED with white and the low power LED with a UV dark purple black light LED. That's going to be super, super sick. Alexa, turn on solder station. Alexa, turn on solder station. Got our white one on. Now replacing the red one. Let's test them with the battery. Put it up to the contacts, turn it on, it should be white. And then when I remove it, the purple one should flash. It's really hard to see. I'll try to post it in slow-mo. And we can continue to assemble this bad boy. So I'm going to plug the bottom screen in. And get the digitizer plugged in as well. Okay. Close the flap. So this is all ready to go now. And now we need to prep our bottom plate. Got our power switch in. Got our volume switch in. Now is when... Alright, and now we need the shield here for the bottom LCD. Get that film off. It looks cool, but it's not meant to be on. If you leave it on, and if you use the GBA slot frequently, it'll start to crunch up, and then you'll need to take your DS back apart to remove it in the future, which is not very epic if you ask me. Okay, now we can get this sticker, put it right about there. And the final thing we need to do to prep this bottom plate, we need this baggie here, so we can get the battery door screw and the battery door screw holder. All right, so the battery door latch goes right in here. There we go, so now it's in. And then after you get it in, I like to grab this, and I like to peel off one of these thin foam ones and put it right over here. Just like how Nintendo had it from the factory. They had a little piece of adhesive over that so it doesn't go anywhere. So now this guy is all prepped for assembly. Now we can take this back and put the motherboard in. Just open up this top screen clamp. Get that black cable over here and plug our top screen in. Bam, bam. Now we can fold it over, get it right in place. Perfect. Now we can plug our microphone cable in. Straighten out the Wi-Fi antenna cable so we can put it onto the cartridge port. Got our Wi-Fi chip. Plug it in. Now we can plug the cable right into the chip. Now let's get our 2 motherboard screws in place. Okay, and now we need the shoulder buttons to be on. Get this metal rod in place right there and there. So I'm going to turn it this way to help me get this shoulder button in. Got our spring in there. Now there is a chance that you will need to trim the L shoulder button. The L shoulder button, for whatever reason, on these Extreme Rate shells, it's sticky sometimes. It gets pinched and it's sticky and it doesn't click right. Make sure the volume switch is all the way down, and we can grab our bottom plate here with everything in it. Make sure the power switch is down as well. And put the sucker right over there. So the shoulder buttons for me, they're clicking totally fine. Let's make sure it still clicks totally fine even after we get all these screws in. I'm gonna get these two in first. 4, 3. All right, and let's make sure the DS works before we assemble it fully. Yeah, look at that white LED, dude. Okay, the touchscreen is not working. So we'll take it apart, make sure the touchscreen works as it should. And on first glance, it just looks like it's not plugged in all the way, but I bet you it probably is. Clamp it down tight, and we'll see if that works now. Yep. Excellent. And now we can get our bottom plate on, and we'll screw it all in. Okay, now we can get these rubber pads on. It's these little fine details that just makes these DSs really stand out, in my opinion. Look inside the stylus port, it's that glow-in-the-dark color, so it's pretty cool. And for these GBA slot covers, I always use a brand new black Extreme Rate Y screw. They fit perfectly, and they match perfectly. So now I can put that in place. Can get the stylus in place. And this DS is really coming together now. It's a little dirty on the top. We'll get that cleaned up. Open it up. One of the final touches we have, add a black border around the bottom screen. Now we can add our rubber pads all up top here. All right, let's give it a spray. And this thing is looking fantastic. This is sliding out without the PCB in, so I'm gonna find a PCB to add in here. Okay, now it'll fit just fine. Check out the screens, make sure everything is good. There's a tiny mark right there where that is. There's just a tiny mark that you can see when the screen is on, but you have to look hard for it. Like, you're not just gonna see it during gameplay. You have to look for it to see it. This DS looks pretty friggin' sweet, if you ask me. Let's take a look at what the low power LED looks like. First, I need to get this sticker on here. So there's our purple LED. If I turn off my bright light, we can see it's purple in person. It's not blue. It kind of shows as blue on the camera. Alexa, turn off my bulb. There we can see it's color right now. You can really see it glow in the dark from that LED there. Yeah, look at that. Look how cool. It's glowing in the dark. It's really easy to see in person. I mean, especially this here. That's really cool. Looking really cool. So if you let this thing sit under bright light or in the sun for a little while, it's gonna get really, really bright in the dark. So yeah, that's it. I'll get this DS cleaned up. But yeah, guys, thanks a ton for watching. I love this DS. I hope you do too. It'll be available on my website for purchase if you would like to buy this DS for yourself, this exact one. I will leave a link in the description to that. But thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.